Alright. I'm here. Ooh, somebody did something. I appreciate it. I did not see that pop up because I'm on the starting screen. Hey, what's going on? I'm gonna watch some Vintage 8 Incomplete People. Figure Alex would be here. Oh well. It is midnight. Cool. Sorry, that took me way longer than I thought it would. YouTube's up. Alright. Nah, it's fine. I normally set my stream to go just starting, and then I go and get a drink and put out a tweet that nobody will see, and it's pretty good. Yeah, I love Halloween. It's my favorite. Although it's like 90 degrees outside, so. Anyway. Yeah, we're gonna watch The Incomplete People. This is an hour long, hour and 15, hour and 10 video. If you don't know what Vintage 8 is, they have this. They started with the Tangivirus, and then they started making other like arcs in it. So they have probably the best put together like shared universe of all of these different stories. It's actually amazing, and I don't know why more people don't talk about them, because everyone likes Gemini Home Entertainment, and I do too. Local 58, Mandela Catalog, whatever else out there. Walton Files, I think, and there's a bunch of shit out there. I think Vintage 8 has probably the most vast, encompassing. I don't want to call it like a cinematic universe, but whatever. Yeah, Local 58. And I heard that Local 58, they are going to be releasing a new episode on Halloween. At least that's what. There's a guy that comes in here usually, Alex, Skate Alex is his name. He keeps me up to date on that stuff because I don't really go on Reddit. But he said Halloween, they're dropping another episode. The guy's computer has been like super fucked up or something, but I guess he got it fixed. So. Oh yeah, I haven't played Luigi's Mansion. Thank you for reminding me. I've been doing a bunch of like spooky stuff all month long. I've never played a Luigi's Mansion game in my life. And I think it was because I was stupid as a kid, because I was pissed off that Mario didn't or the GameCube didn't launch with Mario, and it launched with Luigi's Mansion, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like way back in whenever 2000, 2001. But I want to play it. Like, that's such a dumb take to have, you know. I was in what, ninth grade or something. Yeah, I need to play them. I started Eternal Darkness the other night, and I may play that after this. I don't know. No, Sunshine came out later, a little bit. I mean, it wasn't like way later, but just a little bit. And honestly, I never played Sunshine until they came out with that Mario 3D, the the Switch 3D All Stars or whatever. I probably will never play it again. It was not my favorite. It had some weird controls. I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm not like, I don't want to shit on the game. I had fun enough. Yeah, oh, do they? I got it on digital. I do, yeah, I remember that. I'm still like incredibly angry that they took down Mario 30 or whatever, 35, Mario 35. That that actually really frustrates me even now because I love that game. Like, I absolutely loved it. And they, like, I can't imagine being like the developer for that in developing it only to release it for like what, a year maybe? Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, why would they not keep it out there though? Like, why would they put a date like a like why didn't they keep it permanent? It's so odd to me. Somebody put in all the work just for that amount of time. It's so weird. Anyway, we could talk about that all night. But yeah, that's when I played Sunshine. The pachinko machine thing with Sunshine, I didn't like. And for whatever reason, I think that's like the big thing everyone always complains about. I didn't really know anything about Sunshine, which is weird because on Twitch, I got as many people, I got affiliated and stuff by playing Mario. Like, I was real big into like the Mario community, Mario Maker, Super Mario World hacks, and all that. Never played Sunshine until recently, and yeah, it had weird. There was some like janky controls in there a little bit, and the blue coin thing was not fun. And I thought the little like the areas where you don't have the flood, like okay, these are like Mario 64 levels, but they were like very hard. They were frustratingly hard for some reason, but I don't know. Anyway, I like the game. I like the game. I'm not like trying to shit on the game. Um, it just wasn't my top favorite. Oh yeah, really? You got any um like prototypes or what's it called? Proof of concept stuff? I'll take a look at it. But first, Vintage 8. This is the incomplete people, the entire first arc. It's some kind of oh, okay. I gotcha. It'll probably be better than the Mario Brothers movie in '93. Although that kind of has its own cult following now. I think it's entertaining. And also they were drunk like 24/7 when they made that. Oh yeah, dude. Sweet. Um anyway, let's get on to this. So I okay, the least we need to know about this, and I don't know what this is about, but Vintage 8 made the Tangy virus, which is like this virus that was from outer space or whatever that crashed into the planet, and then they call it the Eye, and it made this thing called the Sinkhole, and it spreaded this virus, obviously, and then the people drink the water because it's in like Louisiana. I actually went to school very close to Louisiana College. I mean, so it's that it's taking over people. It's like infiltrating all the higher level of government and everything. And then there's this opposing group of people that are like religious zealots or something, and they know about it. And there's this computer program called the Oracle AI that's like trying to save people, but then an earlier version of the Oracle got corrupted called the Prophet, and it's like trying to spread the Tangy virus, I think. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um yeah, you're right. But I'm trying to think and also there are these people in Static, like in the Static. I watched uh like Horror in the Static. It's one of their arcs that they did. It was really good. I haven't watched the Children in the Walls. That's another thing that they've done which I haven't watched that I need to watch. Um I Married a Sleepwalker is about like humanity taking the virus and trying to like re-engineer it for mosquitoes or something, and then it backfired, and now it's like spread by mosquitoes now, the Tangy virus. trying to think. There's a lot. There's so much to it. Okay, so that the virus comes down, infecting humanity. We're good, and it's called like the Eye. All right, let's go. Let's see what we got. Oh shit. Ooh, PowerPoint. Professor Jones. And I'm drinking this Coke Zero Oreo. It's not very good. Wouldn't recommend it. Okay. In his oh my gosh, this mouse is going to drive me insane. In his 8 years at Kate's Crossing University, Dr. Jones' classes had become quite popular with the students at the university. He taught many courses in the history department and did a yearly Halloween lecture. Okay. It's within the Halloween realm, called The Haunted History of Kate's Crossing, where he discussed the town's many urban legends. I did not know this was Halloween based. Halloween '08, Dr. Jones gave what would be the final lecture. He spoke about a relatively unknown legend called the Incomplete People. Okay. Hello, Heat. Soon after, Dr. Jones and his final lecture became an urban legend of his own. The 16 surviving attendees said despite the creepy subject and some theatrics, there was nothing unusual about the presentation, but the more superstitious disagree. Something in this presentation must be evil and potentially dangerous. See, I am not superstitious. I am just regular stitious. If you continue watching, do so at your own risk. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Welcome. Ooh. Happy Halloween. It's spooky season, so that means it's time for another ghastly tale from the haunted history of Kate's Crossing. Tonight's topic is a little unique compared to my previous lectures. For one, very few people have heard these stories. The occurrences
hosting
are so
office
rare
hours
and spread out that they almost seem unrelated. Almost. Second, usually I'm in a library reading dusty old books, hoping I stumble onto something interesting. However, this is the first time something interesting came looking for me. Tonight, we're talking about the Incomplete People.
See, I didn't die after I watched The Ring. I'm skeptical. Alright, so we got people that are like malformed. That guy doesn't have a chest. That guy got no legs. He's Lieutenant Dan. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure you're asking, who or what are the Incomplete People? Well, from what I can tell, they seem to be ghosts or apparitions missing a piece of their bodies, like arms, legs,
fair enough.
Torso, head, or a combination of the above. And what they seem to want is to replace those missing appendages by taking them from their victims. Scary, right?
Like a
now, let me back
Frankenstein kind of issue?
The story, I need to start
yes,
at the beginning,
they
or
are.
At least the beginning for me. 2 years ago, I received an email from someone claiming to be a former student, Michelle Astor. She claimed to be researching a relatively unknown urban legend called the Incomplete People, and wondered if I was familiar with the topic.
Well, he's gone.
Michelle said she first discovered the legend in an online message board dedicated to the paranormal. When I said that I was unfamiliar, she emailed me 3 stories. As you can imagine, I get a lot of emails like this. Most of the time, I kick them to a grad student to vet, or I delete them altogether.
Yeah, they do.
This one felt different.
Grad schools suck. Actually, I like grad school.
Overly excited at the opportunity to discover something new. So, 3 stories. They
very
came to me in no particular order, but let's start with
difficult.
The first one I read. The Curious Case of Jessica Bell. It was 1985, and Jessica was a freshman at this university.
Okay.
According to those that knew her, she was a serious student who mostly kept to herself. Jessica had a handful of close friends, no boyfriend.
She kind of does. She got some super thick eyebrows going on.
Participation in a variety of campus clubs. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Days before her death, She started complaining about hearing another student screaming in the hallways of her dorms late at night. Over and over, she screamed, "You have my arms! You have my arms!" There are police reports to back this story up. Believe me, I've checked. Jessica
Okay.
made the same complaint for 3 days, but no one else ever heard what she heard. Jessica must have thought she was being pranked because she offered the police a recording, which we have.
So these like ghosts are trying to
Anything?
take other people's
let's
limbs
begin.
and shit.
Still don't hear anything.
Good. Neither do I. Neither do they.
Okay.
But on the fourth night,
Just a bunch of
this
static.
weird story gets weirder. Jessica claimed an armless girl was trying to get into her room. From what she described, the woman was trying
It
to bite
happens.
her way through the door. Jessica claimed that when she looked through the peephole, all that she could see was the woman's open mouth coming for her. The drawing you're seeing was provided by my
There's
friend
some kind of
Warren
joke
John.
in there.
This is
I
gonna
don't.
help us
I'm too
visualize
stupid
the
to think
monster.
that quick though.
He provided the others that you'll see too. So at this point, campus
She trying to
police
open it
took
with her
words
mouth.
they would come to regret. The next morning, she was found dead in her car, missing both of her arms. No arrests were ever made. They couldn't connect the crime to anyone, nor could they find anyone fitting the description of the armless woman. The appendages
So
were
these are not. He said they were like ghosts, but yeah. But it. I mean, they would be like zombies, right? Not ghosts. He said, like, I'm pretty sure he specifically said ghosts or apparitions, which makes me think of, like they can go through walls and stuff, but this seems like a zombie kind of situation.
The coroner report said the wounds were consistent with bite marks,
Yeah.
human bite marks. Time passed, and many came to believe that the coroner got it wrong. It had to be an animal attack. What else would want arms, right? I'm not sorry to say that one had me hooked. It
Okay.
had just the right amount of truth and weirdness to be an urban legend. Okay, story number 2. In 1989, Carl DeLont, recent college grad, had just started a job in insurance.
Nerd.
Friends said he was a nice,
I'm
outgoing
one to
guy.
talk.
Until, of course, he wasn't. Friends say he became obsessed with a Polaroid camera he found in his new apartment.
Ooh.
He spent hundreds of dollars on film cartridges and took pictures of random empty spaces wherever he went.
Spooky.
It was so bad, friends claimed he wouldn't go longer than 10 minutes without taking a picture. When asked why, he would just say he was protecting himself. Well, according to
Probably.
Shelley, his girlfriend, he must have found whatever he was looking for, because on a date, after snapping a photo, he became very afraid. He claimed there was a skinless man in the photo.
That's not
Shelley
good.
claimed it was just another empty photo. After the incident, DeLont locked himself in his home and would
It's
not
like
leave
Attack on
under any
Titan.
circumstances. This went on for several days until Shelley went to his home with the intentions of ending things. Too bad things had already ended, because what she found was truly
Yeah.
disturbing.
Oh shit.
Carl's
Okay.
home was covered in Polaroid pictures. Thousands of empty photographs were just lying on the floor and
That's not
taped to the wall.
creepy.
And near the television, there was a puddle of dried blood and a single bone from an index finger, which was assumed to be Carl's. No suspects were ever arrested, and every photo was destroyed, except one. This one, conveniently enough. I'd like to bring your attention to this
It's
smudge.
like blurry in the middle.
You can see the
Yeah.
shape of what looks like a person. See
I
it?
gotcha.
How
I
about now?
gotcha.
This leaves just one question.
I see it.
Is it real or just Photoshop?
It looks like Photoshop. Yeah, that's Photoshop.
Photoshop, yeah.
And now for the third story Miss Astor sent me. In 1978, Vietnam veteran Daniel Smith retired from the Army and came home to take care of his family's farm. He wasn't home more than 2 weeks before claiming that there was a man cut in half living in the television. But Daniel insisted that he saw the creature in every program he watched, every time he turned it on. It got so bad.
In the
Daniel didn't want to
70s?
tell him.
There were like 3 channels in the 70s, weren't there? I'm pretty sure.
Eventually, his wife convinced her husband to see a doctor, who contributed his ailment to post-Vietnam syndrome, or what we know as PTSD. Daniel believed that the bisected man, as he named him, was punishment for the things he did in the war. He never said
Now-
what those things were.
No, was his legs cut off or was he cut in half up and down? Like bisected is to cut in half. And when I think of a person that's cut in half, like me personally, it seems like it's up and down because like your like legs are not the same as your upper torso. That's not half of your body. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He took those details to the grave. A little over 2 months after returning home, Daniel would be found dead from a bizarre tractor accident. His legs were never recovered.
Oh,
Creepy.
okay. I guess it is legs.
Well, it's about to get creepier.
All
Once
right.
I was convinced there was some kernel of truth to these stories, I emailed Miss Astor and asked if she'd like to meet. She replied with a video and a question. Do you see anything?
Nope.
And now I ask you, do you see anything?
Ooh, actual footage. Is that like a tent?
Yep, neither do I.
Okay.
I emailed her again asking what I was supposed to be seeing. She immediately replied telling me that she found one of the incomplete people outside her home. This one didn't have his head. Before I could reply, she followed up with a second email. There was a link to another article. In the warning, she wrote, I think this is how they find you. They notice when people come looking, and I don't think it matters if you
Hell
know
yeah.
what you're looking for. I think it's as simple as finding something in a picture, a painting, or a video that you didn't notice before. It's when you take that second look, that's when they find you. And
When did they break up, the Beatles?
I'll be honest, this stuff doesn't get under my skin often, but this did. I let myself get caught up in the story. Of course, my curiosity was still piqued. I had to see what Michelle shared.
Okay, I didn't know like if they made it into the 70s or not.
1992. She was in her late 20s and had recently moved to New York in hopes of starting a music career. One weekend, she attended an art exhibit with her roommate, Carol. It featured photos of the city.
She looks like she could be with Joan Jett or something.
However, Amy noticed something that was odd about the exhibit. According to her, there was a woman missing her jaw
70, okay.
inhabiting most of the pictures on display. And, as I'm sure you can probably guess, Carol couldn't see it. No one else saw it. She even went on to ask about it during the Q&A section. Of course, no one knew what the woman was talking about. The photographer thought it was a disrespectful prank and asked Amy to leave, which she did.
So there are people that
According
can
to
see
Carol,
these,
her and
some
Amy
that
had a few
can't.
drinks. Nothing serious.
Does it relate to the Tangy virus, though?
Amy decided to catch a cab and go home while Carol remained behind. Around midnight, Carol came home and she found Amy dead in the living room, missing her jaw. And if you don't believe this story, then by all means check out the Times, March 3rd, 1992 issue. You'll find a story featuring
92 or 6?
Now I was really creeped out.
Could be.
Could this be real? I emailed Michelle asking her for another meeting. She didn't reply. A few days passed, and I emailed her again.
It does say this is the first arc, which implies that there will be more. So usually Vintage 8 kind of does their thing and then moves on to another like aspect. So this is actually pretty interesting that they're going to do I assume multiple arcs of these. Why would you label it first if you're not going to have a second?
I tried one final time. I received a mailer demon. Her email no longer existed. She was gone.
Ooh, spooky.
I should have done this sooner, but I decided to go through my old class rosters. Apparently, I never taught anyone named Michelle Astor.
Shit, I don't remember. Like, whenever I teach, I'm tell them I am so fucking bad at names. I don't say exactly that. Pretty close though. And like, I learned their names basically right before the final. Like, that's how awful I am at learning names. You teach an auditorium at college with like 150 fucking people. There's no way, man. I don't know how people do it.
For a minute, I concluded that whoever Michelle was played a trick on me. A really good one, too. It's either that or they are in fact real. The prankster went out and found these similar stories and created the backstory for me to connect the dots. Regardless, I think it's fair to give whoever they are credit for creating something new. Something only this brand new digital world could give us.
Yep.
It wasn't real, but maybe it is now. And, in some way, probably always will be. And that might be all that matters. Once an idea is out there,
Ooh, it's like
it takes a life of its
like
own.
weirdly jerky.
Although it's never really here, it's never really gone either. It's forever incomplete until we come in contact with it and finish it ourselves.
Okay. So there was a person who found a bunch of weird like dismemberments and made this story around it. Ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Ooh, that guy looked messed up. Alright. Okay, Alright. I love Vintage 8, and I try and not shit on anyone's work. I'm just kind of that person. I know how hard it is, but like... Okay. This is maybe a tiny bit sloppy, because you can see that he just got the white kind of rectangle tool and drew it over here, which, like, I get it. You're trying to obscure the torso, but, like, it kind of cuts into the, like, the arm here. I don't know. I don't want to shit on it, but I'm just... If they see this, I was featured in one of their videos one time.
After
I mean, like,
video
my
of Incomplete
comments or
People,
whatever.
I started receiving emails from a few of my subscribers claiming they too have seen an incomplete person.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I found a few of them very creepy. I compiled the top 8 into this video and will let you be the judge on whether they are real or not.
Man.
Email 1.
Oh my gosh, this mouse.
After watching your video, I started seeing an incomplete person. I took a picture, but of course no one else can see it. Maybe you can. He looked like he was ran through a paper shredder, but there was no blood.
I've been like that.
Just gaps in his body. I don't know how he moved around or didn't collapse into a pile of flesh. Please help me. I'm scared to think what
I
would
got you.
happen
Yeah,
if this
maybe.
thing got me.
That's the twist. That's the Shyamalan twist. You see it? No.
Email 2. A head with 2 arms. Oh my god. Does anyone else see that thing in the picture? It's a head with 2 arms growing out of its ears. Please, someone tell me that I'm not crazy. I see this thing everywhere. It chases me every time I leave the house. And it's so damn fast. Please,
Head with
any
arms.
advice would be appreciated.
Nah, this is some kind of Gen Z bullshit that you see, at least I see it, where somebody will say something. Maybe I'm just getting old, like, get off my lawn type of thing, but, like, people will reply as if they know, like, if there's some sort of, like, secret cabal that everyone knows except us older people, and we're just not in on it. And I don't like that shit. Frustrates the hell out of me. Who is Joji?
Email 3. A head with
Do I need to know
legs.
that?
I've seen this thing my
Anime?
entire life. I make 22 this year. Only I can see it. When I was a kid, my parents said it was my imaginary friend.
Gotcha.
I call it Jimmy the Head.
That's what I
because it's
figured.
a head with legs. The head looks normal, like a guy in his 40s. It's never tried to hurt me, but it always follows me around. Everywhere I go, I see it. I thought it was harmless. Now, after watching your video,
Can't make fun
I'm
with
scared to
Jimmy.
think that it might one day try to attack me or something. Do you think it's waiting for me to get older? To be the same age as the head?
Okay, like, realistically, if you have a head on 2 legs, what what is it going to do to you? Like the arm, like the 2 arms out of the head, sure, like, because you have opposable thumbs and everything and you can whatever, but like 2 feet, I guess you can kick somebody, but like kicking generally is not gonna do much to you, I don't think. He was actually the real Jimmy was the friends that we made along the way. The head. It could be. That would be an interesting twist to it. It's like you're seeing your
Email
dead
4,
self or
the
something.
divided woman. Help, Vintage. I was eating lunch in my school's cafeteria and saw this horribly disfigured woman crawl in. I was surprised no one else saw it. How could anyone not? She was missing half of her body. It was like she was split down the
Yep.
middle. I asked a friend
Didn't
about
Vlad the
it.
Impaler
but
do
when I
that?
tried to point it out, it was gone. I was hoping I'd never see it again, but there it is, waiting for me in front of my apartment.
I don't see it. Sorry.
Email 5, Hole in Head. I woke up and found this man with a large hole where his face should be. You could see his brain, his tongue, his teeth, everything. It scared the shit out of me.
No, they said it doesn't, they don't bleed. They're just like not there. They did specifically point that out. It's just like not there. It's kind of like the Never-Ending Story with the Nothing, which blew my fucking mind as a kid, where the rock guy, he's trying to like explain the nothing. He's like, I looked outside one day where the lake was and there was nothing. And then the guy he's talking to is like, what, like a hole or something? He goes, no, a hole would be something. There was nothing there. That shit blew my mind as a kid, and it actually still fucking blows my mind right now. Like, that's some existential tomfoolery.
Screen, my mom rushed into my bedroom, but she didn't see it. She thought I was playing a prank. When I went to catch the bus, I saw it again, staring at me. What should I do? Any advice would be appreciated.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. That didn't make sense. You could see his brain, a large hole where his face should be. Scared the shit out of me. Thought it was playing a prank. She thought I was playing a prank. I saw it staring at me. How, like, if it doesn't have a face, how can it look at you? These are important questions.
Appreciate it.
I guess. Or maybe it's at like Sixth Sense, you know,
Email
like when
6,
somebody's staring
the
at you.
headless woman. Do you see the woman with no head here? Your videos cursed us all. Do I have to worry about this monster hunting me down and taking my head? I don't want that because it's my only one after all. Is there a way to stop this thing? Can you hurt them or something?
Weird.
The Crawler.
Okay.
I was picking up some groceries when I noticed this bisected man crawling after me. All of its guts and shit were hanging out. It was
Shit.
hella gross and almost made me sick. I got out
Yeah.
of there as soon as I could, but I'm worried I'll see it again. What
There,
have you done
there
to
are
us,
people like
Vintage?
that though. Well, I guess they don't have their like entrails hanging out.
And finally, email 8. I found this one to be the most uncomfortable to read.
Okay.
I've been seeing these things since I turned 18. My dad saw them too, just like his dad before.
He's
me.
hungry. Maybe
I
they were
thought
just
a family
on the
curse,
same way.
But it's a relief to hear that
On the
others
same
have
path.
seen them too. There's only one way to save yourself from one of these things. You give what it wants by taking it from someone else. If it's missing a head, it needs a head, hands, feet, and so on. Sometimes what they are missing is harder to please. But if you have a strong stomach,
So you have
you'll
to
figure it out.
murder other
It was
people?
2 months after my birthday when the first one found me. It was hollow in the center. My dad helped me find someone to take my place. I don't know how he got him, and he never offered to tell me. but he did give me 2 pieces of advice.
Yeah.
One, you have to do the killing, or the one following you won't take it. Second, choose someone that deserves it. It's easier to live with.
It's like a
The second one I
smile.
came across was missing its left arm, right leg, left side of its torso, and 3/4 of its face. I was 29 when this one showed up. Just married. Dad and I drove several states over to find my replacement. The guy beat his wife and kids. Nasty guy. He never did anyone much good until he met us. My dad and I helped each other out until his 70s. When the last one came, he asked me to let it have him. I found him with a hole in his chest a few days later. I was 32 when I came across this one. It was the first one to find me since I lost my dad. Horrible looking thing. It had no face. You could see the muscle and ligaments that are normally underneath the skin. I found my replacement closer to home this time. He was a drug dealer, peddled poison to minors. He's another one no one's going to miss. But I will always remember how much he screamed when I removed his face.
Face
The
off.
last one wasn't mine. This was my son's. He's just turned 18 and the curse has found him like it found us. Poor fellow.
Oh,
This one
okay.
had no midsection. It held
Well-
itself up by walking on its legs like stilts. My son had a hard time with the bone saw,
What?
but he got through it. I'm proud of him. Thankfully, his sister doesn't see these things. At least one of my children will hopefully have a normal.
Well, how does this one move around? He has no torso and he has legs, but I mean, the leg. He gotta. Is he like resting on his legs, or what's going on here? Said he uses them like stilts. Yeah. I guess what we're supposed to take it from this is like a dad helps his son out to get the body parts to give to the people, and then his dad died. And now this guy has a son and he's passing it on, I suppose.
Life. If you do see
Okay.
one and you decide to save yourself, chances are you
They
will
keep
see
coming.
another one.
It's like
If you can't
feeding
handle saving
cats,
yourself,
stray
then I
animals.
suggest you get your affairs in order. That's my best advice to you. And that was the top 8 scariest incomplete people sent to me by my subscribers. Have you
Okay.
seen a scarier incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseeincompletepeople@gmail.com.
Yeah,
Scariest ones
they
might make it into a
kill them
future
and
video.
take their
Remember,
body part that
every
they need.
email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
Vintage 8. That's actually a good question.
And how you would like to be credited.
Do you see incompletepeople@gmail.com? I bet it is. Ooh, why was that one so much more higher fidelity?
Welcome to the Incomplete People,
What is
Update 2.
that? Okay.
Apparently, lots of you have had experiences with these horrible creatures. Since
Yeah.
my last update, dozens of subscribers have
You just
submitted
like fall
stories
on the
and pleas
floor,
for
right?
help.
Like a
In this video, we
balloon.
will look at just a few.
skin balloon.
I warn you, some of these stories
Okay.
are quite disturbing.
Let's have it.
The Skin Stalker
Yeah.
from the Ghastly Spectre. When I first heard about this, I thought it was a joke. Boy, did that change real quick. I soon started seeing an empty sack of flesh. It had no
Okay.
bones, organs, or anything underneath its skin. It was as if someone had skinned a 20-something-year-old and said skin came alive. The only reason I
Yep,
could tell
Called it.
was because of its deflated appearance. At first, I thought it was my imagination. When I started seeing it more and more, I knew it was real. Please,
I don't
someone
know.
help.
I don't know
I
how
See
rigid it
Incomplete
is.
People by Collins. I was out for a walk when I saw it. It was a man with no arms or legs, and it moved like a snake. Just not as fast, but it's still scary.
Yeah, that one, I'm sorry. I've seen people, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up because there are people out there that have literally like lost both their arms and legs. But I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be scared about that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like molting or something. Like a snake shedding its skin. I don't know.
The Outline Man.
And it just never
by
grows
CD.
new skin.
I'm so glad I have confirmation I'm not going insane. Since I was a teenager, I've been seeing what looks like an outline of a man. You know how cookie cutters are shaped? Where it's just the outline with no features?
Those are like
it looks like that.
in Final
but an
Fantasy
actual
3.
person.
It's like the
I
first
don't know
town you
what
go
he's
to in
waiting
Final
for.
Fantasy 3.
But I'm
It's
glad
these
he
outlines
hasn't
of
acted
people.
yet. How do I get rid of them permanently? The Seaside Torso by Ekom Sakad. Oh, thank God. I thought I was alone. I believe I encountered one of these things you
Your
mentioned
message?
in the
What?
video. A week ago,
Minute? Hold on. You're on Twitch, right? Twitch is weird. I don't think so, unless it automatically did it. Is it gonna steal their skin? How do you rip someone's skin off without making a big hole? Is there something in between that?
I returned to my home island for a summer break, and as is tradition, I went to the beach with my family. Most of the day went just fine, but as we were packing up to leave around the afternoon, I saw it. Right by the waves, receding back into the sea, a human torso. I had to do a double take to make sure I was seeing right. No cuts, no blood, no nothing. It
Oh,
looked like it was born that way. It just lay there wet and covered in sand, unmoving. I honestly thought I was just
It's a
tired
torso.
of seeing things. I did watch a video based on such a thing recently, but I kept seeing it. I almost stepped on it at the grocery store. I saw it while out on a date. She
Weird.
thought something was wrong with me and ditched me a few moments later. I see it around my apartment building sometimes, moving like a worm, pulling its bottom half forward
How do you?
and bending its spine just enough to later flop forward a bit
Mm.
more.
I don't like that.
I didn't have my phone with me at the beach.
It's not scary
but I took
though.
a
Like
picture
it's
of
a
it yesterday,
torso. What
right
can it
next
do to
my
you?
car. I
Yeah.
somehow locked this thing up somewhere. No one else sees it. No one else hears its movement. I can still hear the faint sound of flesh smacking on pavement. What do I do?
I don't know.
The Feet
Lock it up.
by Sam. Over the years of watching this channel, these videos have never
Okay.
once hit so close to
So
home,
like,
unlike the recent
hold
one.
on. Okay, we have an outline of a person. We have a person that is just skin. We have a person that's just a torso. We have a person, like, can't we like put all of these together in like a big puzzle and make one complete person out of these multiple incomplete people? I'm just saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
My incomplete person has only feet, no legs. no
See, they got
arms,
feet.
nothing.
They got feet covered.
I'm glad I found a way through your videos to get rid of it. It's going to be real difficult too to me not having a car. Like everyone else, it follows me everywhere. When I was visiting a nuclear power plant, it was there. When I was swimming in my old family pool, it was there. Something I noticed that was different. I'm not sure anyone else has seen. Sometimes the feet hang upside down, like it's on a bed or something, like a child
Yeah.
trying to see the world upside down or something. It's not like the feet are covered in blood. I just see a little bit of bone sometimes.
You know, a little bit. It's fine. It is blurrier. I'm willing to bet, I'm gonna call it now, that like the more they talk about this, it may get like picture to picture more recognizable. At least that's what I would do. So it's like, okay, you're being exposed to these pictures, and like as you're doing it, it gives you the sense that, oh shit, okay, you're starting to be able to see these things too. Oh my god, my mouse.
My experience with 3 Incomplete People from Classic Customs. I've been watching your recent videos on the Incomplete People, but it wasn't until after the second video that I saw one myself. In fact, I've seen 3.
That's true.
Mr.
I don't know.
Holenhead, Inside Out Man.
Could be
and Just
baby
Ahead.
legs. They could be
Mr. Holenhead was the first one I
my
started
legs.
seeing,
I'm pretty tall, dude.
although all 3 of them showed up around the same time. I was woken up by him knocking at my window one night. I opened my blinds and nearly defecated myself.
I
It didn't
done
help
that.
when he showed me the literal hole in his head. His head had a hole in it just big
Yeah,
enough
exactly.
for a golf ball to fit through, going through his skull and even into his brain a bit. Oddly, there was no blood or
Well,
obvious
this is
signs
like
of damage,
Uzumaki with the
except for the hole
spiral
his
in that
head.
girl's head.
I didn't bother taking any pictures of him or telling anyone, since I was certain no one could see him but me. Seeing as I wasn't the violent type, I started to prepare for my inevitable death, by also trying to act normal around my family and not raise any eyebrows.
I think that's a rather big editing mistake. Come on, Vintage 8. I've been talking you up. It's a little sloppy on this one. Yeah.
Seeing as I wasn't the violent type, I started to prepare for my
Yeah,
inevitable
this is-
death, by also trying to act normal around my family and not raise
This is
any
not in there what he's
eyebrows.
reading.
That was made harder when a few days later I saw Inside Out Man. Well, I thought he was inside out at first. It took me a bit to realize that he was just a collection of internal organs that just so happened
There.
to be inside out.
Put that in the
He
skin,
dragged
people.
himself across the ground wherever I went. Just Ahead showed up not long after. He was just a head. No neck, not even a spine. Just a full-on head.
Exactly. We can make
was
all of
certain
these
my
people's
life was over
problems
by
go
that
away.
That night, I went to bed hoping that my death would be a quick one.
Everyone will
Each
be
of the
happy.
Incomplete People enter my room like ghosts, phasing through my door.
So they can go through the door. But the other one said that they couldn't because she was trying to get through the door by like biting on it. But these ones can? I need to know the rules.
What happened next, however, was quite unexpected. The 3 terrifying entities looked at each other, and then they started to attack each other. Inside Out Man raised up a knife
Yeah.
from out of nowhere and began cutting into Mr. Hole-in-One.
Ooh, they're turning
Mr.
on each
Hole-in-One
other.
screamed. I saw Inside Out Man hollow out Mr. Hole-in-One and commission his body for itself. Then this new,
They're doing
more
it.
complete
They're working together.
person turned to Just Ahead. He used the same knife to cut off the top of Just Ahead's, head. Then the entity was complete. I watched it disappear along with whatever remained of the other 2 Incomplete People. Since then, I haven't seen any more Incomplete People, but I wouldn't be surprised
So we
if
did
more
it.
showed up.
He did our
The Man Without
Big
a
Brain
by
theory.
My.
yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
It's best not to
I
think about
recently
it.
watched your video on Incomplete
May.
People. I'm 26
May.
and I work at the
In-
mental asylum. It's a psychiatric nurse.
Is she
Yes, I
freezing the
work
incomplete
with many
people
rather
in her
psychotic people.
Antarctica base?
Many have tried to attack me.
Good
Many
May.
wail and screech in the dead of
I like
night.
May.
Many have committed heinous crimes that landed them at the lowest level of humanity. One day I was consulting a patient diagnosed with schizophrenia, a condition that caused them to have delusions or hallucinations, sometimes voices in their own head that others don't hear. When we began, I noticed he was showing signs of near insanity. And he started telling me that he was seeing a person who's missing all their limbs, legs and arms, he described it. In a shaking, crazed voice, how it looked like a bloody, mangled tree trunk with only a head. I finished our session, though as I was sorting through my papers, I saw someone standing at my office door, just staring.
I like how there's
He
like
seemed to have a
Egyptian
crazed
music in the
look his
background.
eyes from afar. I could tell he wasn't blinking. His chest wasn't moving. His pupils were still. He was as pale as a ghost. Everything was intact, though. He looked normal, other than this rather odd stare. "Sir, please wait outside," I said. I figured this was just someone else's patient, but somehow escaped. Yet it still didn't move. It didn't blink. I slowly approached. I took a small flashlight and pointed straight into its eyes. Its pupils didn't contract.
That's not good.
His brain wasn't functioning properly. So then I tried to call a coworker. Though they claimed they didn't see anything, no matter how close we got. They even suggested I had developed schizophrenia after all these years of working. They escorted me out of my office. I swore it turned around and stared at me. My boss gave me a pass to head home early.
Spooky.
When I got home,
Scary
I locked
skeleton.
my door, though when I brushed the curtain aside, it was out there, staring directly at me.
Sends
I
shivers
laughed
down your
right
spine.
after. I woke up at like 4:45 a.m., still on the ground, a bit woozy. I immediately turned on all the lights, rushing back to my room. Finally made it onto my computer when I found your follow-up stories. I watched through the full thing. I then checked my camera that was propped against my door, turning back to the time I got home. There was nothing, not even after I passed out. Had
Okay.
I encountered an incomplete person? Have you seen an incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseeincompletepeople@gmail.com. The scariest ones might make it into a future update. Remember, every email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
I wonder if people are emailing him. That'd be interesting. I would imagine so. Yep. Oh, they have eyes now. Well, they did. Oh. Ooh, Uzumaki person. Spiral person. Okay.
The Incomplete People, follow-up 3. This one is a big one.
The
Y'all
skeleton
continue
one
to shock and
is odd.
terrorize with your submissions. Keep sending them, but heads up. I think I have 2 more of these in me before the series will go on a temporary hiatus. So I was just
Okay.
listening to your whole story thing about incomplete people the other day, and the armless one about the lady made me think real hard. Like, that was a sixth sense of inspiration in its own right. So after thinking about it, and the idea of her kept coming back like she was haunting me, I drew her.
I want to know how
Couldn't
all of
help but
this
think of
fits
the sick
into like the
noise
larger
heard biting through someone's
picture,
arm was as I drew it.
for lack of a better
Here's to
word.
hoping it won't bite me in the butt later. The Armless Woman by Messy Sketch. Incomplete Person Sighting by I Might Be a Weasel. I tend to not
It's a
use
good
my
name.
living room much.
It's a good username.
Usually I'm watching TV in the kitchen or playing video games in my bedroom. But about 1.5 years ago, I started getting into watching movies. And for that, I started hanging out in the living room a lot more. Bigger TV.
Right. Of
About 3
course.
months ago was the first time I saw him. Just glimpses at first. But it started lingering longer and longer. Now I'm numb to him.
Yeah, you
I've
just
been
don't
calling
care.
him the couch potato. A morbid sense of
It's like
humor
chilling
helps
out with
when
an
there's a
incomplete
limbless man in
person
your house
watching TV.
that everyone claims you're making up. No arms.
When you're so lonely that you make friends with an incomplete person to just chill out and watch TV with.
No legs, just bloody stumps, like they have been freshly ripped off, and a face frozen in horror. I'm not sure if he's tried to hurt me
Yeah,
Could be
true.
that he wants to and can't. You know, no arms and legs. Usually he just stares at me, eyes follow me wherever I go. When I get close, he shakes like he's trying to move. But he stops when I sit down. Why do I sit next to him?
Why not?
Watching the TV with him is the only thing that gets his eyes off of me. If I'm there and the TV is on, he will watch it with me in silence. A weird sort of equanimity, but I'll take it. At least horror movies never scare me anymore.
Fair enough. Can't see him. Hey, he's got a Fallout lunchbox.
It's right there, by Flameheart. Dude, now I'm freaking out. 2 hours after I watched your initial video on the incomplete people, I heard something come from my dark hallway. It was barely over a whisper, but it said things like, "Watch your head, break a leg, you have 1 foot in the grave." It freaked me out,
Okay.
but no one else could hear the voice. I finally saw it. Well, I don't know how to begin. It was sitting down in a fetal position, facing toward me. It had no torso, its limbs and head just floating there.
Maybe.
in the
Okay.
dark. Its eyes
Okay, that's a little bit more information that it is all linked, it seems, except the parts where it would be are not there, but like they still contain, like, keep their orientation. It's not just like a head and feet, it's like they're still attached, but the thing that attaches them, like their torso, just isn't there, is what it seems like. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. So, like, it still holds the form of the person.
were missing, and the left leg and foot were gone too. The worst was the smile, or lack thereof. Its mouth was missing, a chunk ripped off its face, yet I could still tell it was smiling at me.
It's probably like the
Just stared
looking,
at it, not
the
being able
staring.
to look away. Then it sat up and walked, or glided toward me. I was sure I was going to die, but all it did was speak
So they
again.
can
What
talk.
it said will haunt me for the rest of my life.
If he has the lower part of his head, I don't know how the larynx would vibrate to get the speech, whatever.
You're lucky.
Poking too
I'm
many
not
holes.
looking for your body parts. But that doesn't mean I won't be watching you. Just from behind the shadows. Sweet dreams, little one. That's when I blinked, and it was gone. I haven't seen it since.
Okay.
Please, I'm scared it will come back. I've been locking myself in my bedroom at night, but I can still feel that thing is still out there, watching me every night. I don't feel in danger, but how long will that last?
Just watching it. I bet I'm right. I
I
think
was
these things are
figuring.
going to come into
I'm so glad I found a group
focus
of people who
the
can
more we
understand
go on.
what I'm going through. I really need to talk about this. It started about 2 weeks ago. I was coming home from a late shift at my local pub when I first saw it. A person, or at least what looked like one at first, it was standing in the middle of an empty car park.
car
Its gaze
park.
fixated on me. I couldn't make out the
Somebody's
face
from
clearly.
England.
There was something really unsettling about it. I tried to get a better look, but I decided it wasn't worth provoking. Thankfully, it was only a few moments later when my bus came. When I got on, I asked the bus driver if he knew what the random man in the car park was doing. The bus driver turned around and looked right at it. He swung back around and said in the most confused tone, "What man?" I brushed it all off as evening exhaustion and decided to just go home. The morning after that I got
So
up
it
from
didn't have
work, I opened
eyes?
up the blinds and I saw it right across the street from my apartment. Staring right at me was a humanoid figure with no eyes. Where I tried to meet its gaze, I just saw a black void, as if staring into the back of its head. It was just harrowing.
It's like the Uzumaki
stared at
spiral
me.
thing.
I don't know how else to put it, but it felt as if it could really see me. That day I called in sick and didn't leave the house once. From that day on, it followed me everywhere. No one else seems to notice it. My friends think I'm joking when I talk about the blind man who won't leave me alone. I see it out of the corner of my eye, standing in the shadows.
Maybe it's like
always
Death Note
watching. When I
with
look
the,
directly at it, its
Shinigami
expressions
or
become
whatever following him.
lifeless. I hate it. A few nights ago, I woke up to the sound of scratching. The room was dark, but I could feel its presence. It was standing somewhere in my room. I don't know how or where, but I had never been more scared in my life. I froze, unable to move or even breathe.
It's like sleep
I
paralysis.
had never been a religious person, but in that moment, I prayed that God would save me. Since that night,
Orion,
I've
come
tried
here.
everything to get rid of it. I've spoken to priests and consulted psychics, but they're useless. Tonight, I'm keeping a gun on my bedside.
Psychic's
Anything
useless.
happen.
What?
I'm not going to assume bullets work on this thing, but if it really comes to it,
Where's
then they'll at
his
least work
treats?
on me. If anyone wants
Where are
to
your
take something
treats?
from this, please believe
Buddy?
me. The incomplete people are real, and they won't stop until they're whole again. If
Where'd you put
see
your
one,
treats?
Ignore it. The moment you become curious is the moment you sign your death warrant. If you don't hear from me after this email, then assume the worst.
Come on.
I saw one when I was 17.
We don't want you to be an incomplete cat.
I was about 17 when I first saw him, or it. The
There you go.
semantics don't really matter. One day I walked into the school bathroom and washed my face after a random nosebleed. I closed my eyes to wash off the rest of my face, and when I opened my eyes, what do I
I've
see?
never
but
gotten
me
like a random
and most in
nosebleed.
his 30s behind me. I was startled. I thought I was alone, and I didn't see or hear any of the stalls behind me open or anyone walk in. I turned back to glance at him directly. He was average looking, and he was wearing jeans and a gaudy green turtleneck. That was weird for sure. I give nothing more than
Why?
a passing glance out the
Why are
window. What do I
turtlenecks
see?
weird?
I see him again, and it's like he's staring right at me with those haunting,
Come on.
piercing gray eyes. And then the bus lurched forward, and I wouldn't see him again for another 2 weeks. I was in a movie theater with my girlfriend. I was sitting on the edge of the third row, and we were well into the movie when a man walked out from one of the aisles in
Okay,
front of the
that's
screen.
enough treats.
You think that would have drawn the ire of everyone else in the room, but they just kept watching the movie. I was about to say something when I realized it was the same man in the same clothes. What voice I could have mustered to tell the man blocking the view was stripped from my throat as he began walking down
This
the
is
aisle
like,
towards me.
There's
Much
a
of this
story
was
and
obscured by
scary
the
stories
darkness
to
of
tell in the
theater,
dark.
being that it was facing away
This
from the
reminds
screen.
me of one of those.
I could tell its eyes were
Like the
wide
big
open.
toe, I think it was
Once
called.
he reached me, he leaned down until his nose was level with mine. I turned my head, his eyes met mine. Silently, his once mild frown turned upwards until he was smiling ear to ear with teeth bared almost like a rabid dog. I had almost made a motion to push him away when his own hand reached up to the collar of his turtleneck. He slowly lowered the neckband to his collarbone, but it was too dark in the theater to make out any detail, until a bright white light flooded the theater, and I saw what he was showing me. There was a massive gaping hole in his neck. I mustered the willpower to push
Hickey
the
gone
door free
wrong.
and bolted for the exit. I don't remember much of what happened after that. I do remember waking up in a hospital and every part of my body hurt. Both my legs were broken, and so was my left arm.
Jesus.
I was completely alone. There were no doctors or nurses around me until what had to have been 3 excruciating hours later when my girlfriend walked in to visit me. She told me I'd run out the theater screaming into traffic, so I guess that settles it. I asked her about the person in front of the movie screen, and she gave me the most incredulous look ever. I was in the hospital for a few days after that, and I could swear I saw eyes outside the window sometimes. Once I even woke up in a sweat, reliving that moment in my dreams, only to have an uncanny sensation of being
Yeah.
watched. I still have those night terrors, and sometimes I see the man again through windows or out in public or in the peripherals of my vision, always with that
Okay.
feral
All
smile.
right, Vintage 8.
always with a hole in his neck.
Let's push the story
I saw a
forward.
video about incomplete people, and I think what I saw might have been an incomplete person. I really hope it isn't. I really hope it isn't. The Corner Creeper by Josh Guzman. Hello.
Guzman.
Seeing these videos on YouTube recently has lifted a small bit of weight off my shoulders, but has also added an empathic sadness. You see, I believe myself to be the only one, and although this entity has terrorized me for the past 2 months, I had long given up as finding any sort of solution. I have seen many different examples in your first 2 videos, but they all seem to have one thing in common: a goal. The incomplete person, as you would call them,
Right.
seem to all have the goal of completing themselves. My case, however, seems to only have the goal of terrorizing me. I want to begin this story where it started,
Oh,
the
everyone's
deep
different.
end of a YouTube rabbit hole. I remember it was one of those nights that I couldn't fall asleep, but I had to work in the morning, so I thought listening to some podcasts or something would help me get to bed. I was a bit of a horror fan, especially for analog found footage,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
decided to look up any upcoming shows, and that's where I found it. An untitled video posted about 2 weeks before. I would give a proper date, but since my first view of the video, I haven't been able to find anything on it, and the video seems to have been deleted from YouTube. In it, a video of a door
Oh, he's
frame,
probably
a man
RTU.
breathing heavily, camera shaking just a little bit. 4 simple words that shake me
It's an
to my
RTU
core
video.
still to this day. You see it, right? The video ends. At the time, I was convinced that the video
Hey, what's
scared
up?
me because I thought the man was crazy. And I looked away from the video and saw it too.
You didn't miss much.
Just a man, but only the right half. At least, that's all I know he has. He's always creeping behind the corner or something,
Full head though.
never showing too much of himself.
Right half of body.
However, every time I see him, he seems to be smiling wider and wider and wider. His eyes seem to grow
It has a little
larger,
bit of a
larger.
smile and it
to the
follows
size
kind
of
of a
teacups. And
horror
all he
feeling
seems to
like
do is
that.
look at me. He just looks at me and smiles. He shows up at the grocery store, the barber, when I'm in the bathroom. He will find a corner and just look at me from behind it.
You're taking a big
I'm not
shit
sure why or what
and
the
he's in the
reason
bathroom.
is, but it seems to just want to terrorize me.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
all
know.
It's been doing for 2 months now. I watched the solution video that you sent, but I don't want to get close
These are the
enough to
important
figure out
questions.
what I need to do to save myself. I look forward to more information. Please help me by Maximus Dork. It's been over a year. I started seeing it after I had to go to the hospital. It was just standing in the room. It's missing its eyes and the lower half of its face and its
Okay.
neck. It always seems to stare directly at me. It gets closer when I take my eyes off it. It's right up next to me, and I could look down into the gaping hole into its chest. I tried to tell the nurses, but they dismissed it as a hallucination. I got referred to see a
It's
psychiatrist.
like a lot of these
I've
people.
been on multiple meds that's supposed to stop it.
So
but I still
maybe
see it. It was everywhere.
they could like get
It was at
together
my
and
job, my college, the
have a
grocery
support
store,
group?
the gym,
I
my
don't
favorite
know.
restaurant. Anywhere and everywhere I go, it's there. And it keeps getting closer when I don't look.
Yeah.
I lost my job, I quit school after failing all my classes. I lost my boyfriend and my friends. The only place it doesn't follow
Pretty
me
much,
is my
yeah.
apartment. But it waits outside. I stop leaving my apartment if I can avoid it. And every time I do, I barely look away from it. I'm alone now. I sit here in my room. Nothing feels the same anymore.
Ooh, I
I
know
don't
that
enjoy what I
feeling.
used to. Every time I have to get my delivered groceries from the doorstep, it's there. I'm waiting for the day that my apartment door isn't enough to hold it back.
So this
I know it'll come.
one
need
can't
help.
get through the door.
Please, I beg you.
Yeah. So the other ones could. This one, I guess,
The
there's no
Serpent
unified rule
Sailor by
set.
Lucy Heartquake. I know it's a hopeless question to ask if
Yeah.
you
What
see
is
him.
this one? This
Not
one's
even the goals
completely
are
different.
disturbed. He's a slithering skeleton with no legs, dragging himself forward using his arms. On his head is an old sailor's cap. I think he might have been a freighter man trawled up from the icy waters of Gitche Gumi. Every
Hate
day
that
he
place.
swims farther from the water. I can hear him now, clambering his way up to the lighthouse wall. His shadow stretches across the lake.
Yeah.
Endless
Uzumaki.
Spiral by
Uzumaki
E.
girl.
Razier. Your video helped me put a name to something I've been seeing for years. It's a woman, I think. It's hard to tell. Her body doesn't fit together. It's as if you bored a hole into her stomach and then started to cut a perfectly symmetrical spiral outwards from there.
Yep.
It's a hypnotic void, passing through arms, legs, and head.
I haven't watched that series
Every
yet.
time I look at her, it's as
I
if
heard
I
it
can't
like
ever
really
look
went
away
downhill
again.
after the first
If it wasn't for the
episode.
sheer panic, I
which
don't
is a
think
shame.
I'd ever have been able to
I'll
stop staring.
probably still watch it.
It's been a long time though.
Uzumaki.
Panic fades. Even terrifying monsters can become routine. I dread the day that I accidentally let my guard down enough to let it do what I
Yeah.
think it wants to do to me.
I could see that.
Walk toward it.
Guilty Frank. Pink guy's suit. I haven't thought about that in forever.
Ever since I was a child, I would
A
see
heart.
it. It first appeared on the ceiling above my bed. It appeared to be a heart and veins latching to the surface. The heartbeat and the blood oozed out of its veins.
Yeah.
I would see it everywhere. School, park,
This is
work,
like some
college.
itch shit.
Honestly, it's become the norm for me. I was actually sent to a mental institution at one point because I had a breakdown. I just told everyone I stopped seeing it, but that's a damn
Yeah.
lie. Just this morning, I saw it latching onto the window, freaking the hell out of me.
It's a
And after
heart.
seeing your videos, I'm scared that it might be my heart.
Ooh.
Heliotro
Spooky.
Cypher, who you can find their artwork listed here,
Can we?
has shared 6 photos of incomplete people that they have encountered.
Let's check
For
it.
years, I have seen several headless, necklace, and what looks like walking trypophobia. These are my favorite
Trypophobia.
incomplete people. I'm not sure why they specifically are more common.
So there is a series that they did with this trypophobia thing. When they got infected, they would get a bunch of holes all around their body. So this is a connection. Maybe these people are like the ghosts of the people that died in that. I don't know. Maybe. I'm looking up this seeing if this is a real site. Oh, look at that. Seems to be. I don't see anything like that. It definitely is a person's site. Is this like MySpace for artists? I thought that was like DeviantArt. Huh. Weird.
In my area.
Yeah, I think it
I've
would
attached some of
definitely
the
be a
sketches and
reference.
doodles I've made. Most are taken in public areas, watching from a distance.
Like that's a really specific thing to like have it be have it be just, you know, like coincidental.
Have you seen an incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseincomplete.people
Okay,
at
let's
gmail.com.
push the
The
narrative forward.
scariest ones might make it into a future update. Remember, every email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
I imagine that people probably do send like their own stories or whatever, and he puts them in here. That's probably a really good way of making a connection with your community, like by featuring them in your videos. I I watch a bunch of music stuff, and there's a guy named Charles Berthoud who, during COVID, he's a ridiculous bass player like Davey 504, but he did like a collaboration. He's like, play me something in E minor at 120 BPM, and like he got a bunch of submissions, and he like put it all together, and it was like a really cool song, and he did it like 3 or 4 more times. I think that's amazing. I would love to do that or something like it. I actually want to do a series on my YouTube channel that like highlights other small YouTube channels. Not that anyone would see it. I'm incredibly small, but I don't know. I really enjoy finding like very smaller YouTubers because some people have some really good shit on there. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I've had that idea for a while. I just haven't done it. I don't really know a lot of smaller channels, but
Update 4.
I should do that though. I mean, I could go around on my
The Man
own.
with No Eyes by Jesper. A few months ago, my brother started acting paranoid. At first, I didn't think much of it. He would just be more on edge than usual. Sometimes when he would walk across the street by our house, he would keep looking over his shoulder. Or I remember this time at school when he got startled by something only he appeared to be able to see. But then soon after, his behavior got
We've already heard about a man with no
started making
eyes.
a lot of pictures of random places, empty corridors, parking spots, the aisle at our local grocery store. He would print these photos out and ask me if I could see it. I didn't understand what he meant, and when I asked him what I was supposed to be seeing, he said, "The Man with No Eyes." Shortly after this, he started locking himself in his room and barricade his bedroom door.
But
wouldn't come out for
what does that
days.
do?
My parents talked.
Is this a guy that can go through the door? Is this a guy that can't go through the door? I need to know. There's very little consistency with these whatever entities.
About calling a doctor because they thought he might have been having some kind of mental breakdown.
Damn it.
But then one day when my mom went to check on him, I heard her screaming. I went upstairs to check
It's
what
not an
happened.
Evan Blair
She
stream
had
unless
found
my
my brother on
headphones
his
die.
bedroom floor, covered in blood. He was dead. His eyes were missing, and the pictures he had made were all scattered around him. But this time they weren't empty spaces. This time I
Yeah,
could see
like,
what
yeah.
he was so afraid of.
Like that guy was just chilling with the torso head man thing on the couch watching TV. I could get behind that. They seem to have their own very distinct personalities.
These past couple of months. And each of these pictures was a man with no eyes. I'm afraid. Not just afraid, but I'm fucking terrified.
Fucking
Not just
terrifying.
because my parents couldn't see the man in the pictures, but because I saw the same man. He was at my brother's funeral, just staring at me with those empty eye sockets. This was 2 days ago. I just found your video on YouTube today about the incomplete people, and the solution is apparently pretty straightforward. But honestly,
I have an
don't
idea.
know if I have it in me to give it what it wants. I don't know what to do. One Without Features by Lily C. I've been a fan of this channel for a while now, though I never really thought any of this could be real. Just a fun bit
That's
of
a good
make-believe
point.
to get scared at for fun, much to my husband's displeasure, since I have a tendency to get hung up on a good series. I
him,
contemplated
like,
seeing
owl
this for a
eyes.
few days. I'm still not sure if what I saw really counts as an incomplete person, but I can't think of what else it could be. I first saw it at a playground near where I live. It's a child, probably around 5 or 6 years old, based on size. I can't
Now
tell
we have
whether
incomplete
it's a boy
children?
or a girl, though. It has no distinguishing features that point either way, and I do mean no distinguishing features. The poor thing doesn't have a face, not like a blank mask, but has no eyes outside of sockets, and both its mouth and nose look like they've been sliced clean off its face, leaving only
Because
the insides visible.
isn't there like a
It's been
final
following me around,
destination
and I don't know what to make of it.
death like that
I'm afraid
where they
it'll attack
slice
me,
their face down?
based on what other people have said, but I don't feel any animosity
Yeah, exactly.
from it. It feels more like it's lonely to me. My husband hasn't taken things well since I told
These are good questions to ask. We can help these people if they do have prosthetics, you're right. Give them a wheelchair.
him. I know he's just worried, but his antics and this situation aren't doing my mental health any favors. I think I'll just
Yeah,
pretend
exactly.
I don't see it anymore. My features wouldn't fit its tiny body anyway, and this kind of stress isn't good for a pregnant lady. The Vivisected
Ooh.
Man by
Whoa. That was that's an interesting bomb drop. So there's an incomplete child there. And in the very last, we find out that the person seeing this is pregnant. The kid wants the baby's stuff or something, I would assume. That's a pretty big thing to slip in there. Yeah.
and I don't see it anymore. My features wouldn't fit its tiny body anyway,
No,
and this
that's
kind of stress isn't good for a pregnant lady.
that's good.
The
I like
Vivisected
that.
Man by the Horse One Heart.
Yeah,
Hello.
I don't know. Maybe it's got to wait. Maybe it's got to bide its time. Do the incomplete people grow? Do they hit puberty, or do they just stay that age forever, and then they can follow the pregnant lady until she has a kid and wait, what, 5 years or something? I don't know.
Oh, I had recently watched your video on the incomplete people, and it brought back a memory that I'd forgotten about until then. From the ages of 7 to 18, I would always have this recurring dream that would happen every year between the months of March to May. In this dream, I would always see a form of vivisected man that would chase me or stalk me through the entire dream until I woke up.
I mean, if you got a person cut in half and like there's no blood or anything, you could give that man a job at like a university for like an anatomy class. You know how they have those like fake skeletons hanging up and stuff? You got an actual person there. You can like point out everything. The whole thing is bisected. Vivisected, I guess is what they call that.
Every year, the man looked different. It started out as only the nervous system, such as the brain,
Yeah,
spinal cord
exactly.
with nerves, where the limbs should be.
Yeah, you could take the skin person and be like, look at the different layers of skin, and this is where it stops. This guy has what? He said it changes. He just have a nervous system now. And then every year he would show up, he would gain more and more features like a skeleton jet. That is like the perfect learning tool. Employ these people.
And eyes that
Or
were
these
attached to the
incomplete
brain.
people.
Then every year, until maybe 15 years old, the man would gain more and more features, such
Yeah,
as a skeleton,
exactly.
a digestive system, and eventually muscles. It never gained skin, though. These dreams
Oh, wait, what? What was that? It never gained skin. Yeah, we had the one where they like fought each other and they were incorporating each other in the body. There's got to be like these things that we're seeing have to be different aspects of actual like whole people. I'm convinced. Like I'm totally convinced of that now. Because of the skin person, and this guy had everything but the skin. There's got to be other parts of these people. There's a theory before, but yeah.
and eventually muscles. It never gained skin, though. These dreams were so disturbing to me
convinced.
that for a good while it would keep me up at night when the time came for the dream to reoccur. Eventually the dream stopped, but I did have
Or the
another
people
one
couldn't have
again, I think maybe when I was 21 or
People couldn't have in the middle kind of two separate constituencies? You mean like consciousness? Like are they independently thinking? That's a good question.
Or 22 years old. It was really
It's fine.
strange.
No, it's a good
Not
question.
afraid of him this time around. Just more curious that he decided to appear again. I really hope that it was just a weird nightmare and not an incomplete person. When I saw your video, it genuinely freaked me out because it was so uncannily similar to my memories of that dream, and I wanted to write in and tell you about it.
If you haven't seen it, I just watched it like 3 or 4 days ago. The Substance, I just heard about it. It's like body horror kind of stuff. Very good. Kind of goes like talking about different consciousnesses that are connected and maybe not connected. That made me think of that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mostly just shitpost on there with my sister, but yeah. 100%. That's why it's there.
The Heartless by Joseph. Help! I'm locked in the bathroom on a red-eye flight from Columbus, Ohio to Seattle, Washington. When I fly, I always download a few YouTube videos to watch on the flight.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, your
My
Incomplete
YouTube
People
videos.
video was one of them. The flight was about half full, and most of the other passengers were either asleep or watching screens like I was. I watched the video, I'm not gonna lie, it creeped me out.
That's an interesting question. What's the creepiest YouTube video you've ever seen? I would have to think about that. There's some weird shit that I've seen on YouTube.
I raised my head to look out the window, and I saw him in the formerly empty seat next to me. A man in his late 60s in a wrinkled business suit wearing no shirt. His rib cage was open and missing his ribs. And more importantly, his heart. I was panicking inside. I don't know why, but I couldn't yell.
There seems to be like a sleep paralysis kind of thing where you see it, you can't audibly like yell out. I think, and I don't know, but I remember when I was very young, I would wake up and I would like look at the ceiling, and I distinctly remember not being able to like cry out, and I was terrified, but I don't know if that actually happened or not, but I feel like it did. Like I've had that feeling before. It could have been sleep paralysis. Again, I don't know, but I have had that feeling when I was like 4 or 5.
I got up quickly and
It's
went to the
awful.
bathroom and locked myself in. As I'm writing this, I'm waiting for someone to start knocking on the door, and I pray it is the flight attendant. The Eyes by Crimson. So I recently had a cat-sitting job for a week in my neighborhood and was spending the night at the client's house.
Another one. So we have the eyes. We've had eyeless men. That's another like data point saying that these were regular people that are now incomplete. This one's just eyes.
I was up late one night talking to a friend over Discord with one of the cats snuggled up next to me on the couch. All of a sudden, the cat shot her head up and started.
It should be like having glare, or I think I have it as like synth mage. It's not open right now. Give me a sec. Why does Discord have like so many updates every fucking day? How often can you update it? Yeah, it's the synth mage, drunk god emperor. That's me. Sun exploded. I'm assuming that's you. I generally don't I don't accept people that I don't know.
Hissing,
Anyway.
frantically looking around the room like she didn't know what she was hissing at. Thought maybe
I don't
she
really
had a
get
bad
on
dream.
Discord just a whole
But
lot.
She kept hissing
so-
and growling with her hackles raised like she was on guard. I wondered if she saw something through the sliding glass patio door that spooked her. But when I got up to check and turned on the outside light, I almost jumped out of my skin at the sight of two eyes staring
That's
at me
horrifying.
through the glass. Just the eyes. Sitting on the patio table. Not even any blood. Just two eyes with the optic nerves
like
still
that.
connected and draped behind them. I could even see the
Not a fan
pupils
of that.
contract as the light came on, as if they were still alive. I turned on my phone camera to show my friend, but she swore up
Do
and
what?
down she couldn't see them.
God, my mouse. So multiple people can see it. What are you referring to? Like a submission or something? And I lost the context of that. Did they? Did I miss that?
I didn't really know.
Hold on. I wondered. Okay, cat sitting job, spending the night at client's house, woke up late, talking to a friend over Discord. One of the cats snuggled up next to me. All of a sudden, the cat shot her head up and started hissing frantically around the room like she didn't know what she was hissing at. I thought maybe she had a bad dream, but she kept hissing, growling with her hackles raised. What the fuck is a hackle? She was on guard. I wondered if she saw something through the sliding door that spooked her, got up. Okay, so the cat can see the thing, I think is what they were referring to, not necessarily another person. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's another data point there. But again, I don't know.
Staring at me through the glass. Just
They're
the
all different.
eyes. Sitting on the patio table. Not even any blood. Just two eyes with
I don't
the
like
optic
thinking about
nerves
that
still
optic
connected and
nerve
draped
thing.
behind them.
Not a fan of that.
I could even see the pupils contract as the light came on, as if they were still alive. I turned on my phone camera to show my friend.
Okay.
She swore up and down she couldn't see them. I didn't really know what else to do. So I eventually just shut the blinds and tried to convince myself I was just seeing things. The eyes were gone the next morning, but the cat barely left my side the rest of the week. She wouldn't even eat without me in eyeshot.
I bet not.
Ever
That's
since
like
I came
my
home,
cat.
I keep thinking I see an eye peering at me from behind a piece of furniture, between the aisles at the store, or through my cracked closet door. I'm honestly
Nope.
not even sure if this is an incomplete person stalking me, but it's the best lead I have. You're the only person I've told about this besides my friend, and while I'm
Was
relieved
he?
I'm not going
Oh, my
crazy
cat's my
now,
best friend.
I'm scared for my safety.
He's like the
Is
most
there
chill
anything I
cat
can do
ever.
to keep this thing away from me? Also, has anyone else noticed animals acting weird around these things? Especially cats? I swear they can just sense these things sometimes.
Yeah.
Exposed
what they say.
Nerves by Hopper Rabbit.
Ooh.
Hello, I just watched your videos of the incomplete people and immediately started writing this. About a month ago is when I started seeing it, just brief glances out of the corners of my eye. My family has a history of mental illness, so I went to my psychiatrist
There
to
you
get
go.
prescribed antipsychotics. The first time I finally saw it fully was on the drive back. It's seemingly a bald man, however, instead of normal legs and arms, it's just the nerves. No bones or blood, just smooth, thin, white tendrils woven to vaguely resemble limbs. Its skin is almost translucent and blue. The medication isn't doing anything. I still see it.
Oh yeah.
For the last 2
could
weeks,
see
I've been
that.
bound to my bed. It started with a numbness in
Are
my
new-
toes.
are
and now
nerves
I can't
white?
feel
I
anything
didn't know
below my
that. I
thighs.
thought they were like
I've
red.
attached a drawing I did while bed bound, since it's really all I can do. My muse has been motionlessly standing in the corner of my room, mocking me. I don't think I'm going to survive this, especially since I can feel that cold numbness creeping up my fingertips.
Oh, you're fucked. You're done. Oh, good. Is there anything?
Have you
It's
seen
blurry.
an incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseeincompletepeople@gmail.com.
Nearly done. I think they got like
The
one more
scariest
video.
ones might make it into a future update. Remember, Every email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
I'm not familiar. Okay.
The Incomplete People, follow-up 5. The last follow-up.
Okay.
At first, it was fun receiving your submissions. Most of your stories were very creative and genuinely scary. I really appreciate your participation and am honored you wanted to contribute to the Incomplete People mythology. And if your story didn't appear in a follow-up, that doesn't mean it was bad. Some of them were either a tad too long, or you didn't give me permission to use it.
Gotta
With
give
that
permission.
said, this will be the last follow-up, at least for a little while. A little over a month ago, I received a submission that genuinely made me uncomfortable. It's the main reason it took me so long to wrap up this series. Honestly, I wasn't going to mention it or publish it, but another YouTuber encouraged me to upload it as a bookend for the project. It's called The Rib Cage, and it began with an email.
Okay, so this is
August
like just
1st.
one.
Hello, Vintage. I
Like
just
a really
watched The
big one.
Incomplete People and a few of the updates. I thought it had a cool creepypasta vibe, but no offense, I didn't think much more of it than that. I probably would have
Okay.
forgotten all about it.
I think this is the
But then I
last
started
one
seeing
that's
more of
like
these
a
things
big
in real
one.
life. Started about a week ago. I was doing a Zoom with my grandma.
Zoom.
We were talking about school when suddenly I saw this thing scurry behind her. It must have startled me because my grandma immediately asked me what was wrong. Of course, I told her it was nothing. I've been fighting a twitch in my eye and a lack of sleep, so it was easy to blame that. I just finished a rough summer semester.
Well, it
and
should
was
startle
mentally
you.
exhausted.
That's not a
So I brushed
normal
it off
thing
as my
to
tired
see.
brain seeing things. That was the only
Yeah,
way I could
exactly.
rationally explain what I saw. But then I saw it again. It crawled to the space just above my grandma's head and stopped. Almost like it was
My one complaint about all of these analog horror things, it's fine, is that while I love it, very few of them, how do I say this? Whenever they get affected by whatever kind of like paranormal shit that's going on, they don't seem to like act as if a normal person would. The backrooms, for instance, person falls in the backrooms, they were outside, and they don't like freak the fuck out like they should. Right? Like you were just outside and you fell through reality into this infinite, like yellow, weird place. And then they just like, hello, is anyone there? Hello, where am I? Like, no, you need to fucking flip your shit. There's a lot of other stuff like that, like this. Interesting, fun to read. But these people are like, oh, I saw this thing and I didn't really tell anyone about it. I guess they did say a few people do, and they got like hospitalized. But like every person, if you saw a rib cage climb up on your grandma's head and stop, you would freak the fuck out.
was offering me a good view of it, like it wanted me to see it. The thing was just the upper half of a man, and it had no waist or legs, just an exposed rib cage, which it used to hold onto the wall. Naturally curious, I leaned toward the screen.
Water beds. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, do they even make water beds anymore? That shit was everywhere in the 90s. Like all the cool parents had it. Well, getting older, I know why they had it. But as a kid, you're like, oh my god, it's a water bed. I haven't heard or seen anyone mention water beds in like 20 years. Or they? I don't know. I never got to get on one. Probably rightfully so. I probably would have fucked it up and popped it or something.
Just to get a better look, I took a screen grab, which you can see here. Its head made a 180-degree turn and stared directly at me. It had the face of a young man no older than me. Its jaw dropped.
Yeah, I was about to
and
say the
released
same
this
thing.
nasty, high-pitched scream.
I thought it
I
anyway.
immediately
It's
jumped
like,
back,
that's a stock image of
startling my
grandma.
She asked me if I was okay, but before I could lie, it was gone. We spoke for a little while longer, and it never returned. I even started to relax a little. Maybe I just needed sleep, I thought. About 20 minutes later, Grandma exited the conversation. I powered the
It's a
computer
weird
down,
way of
and then in the reflection of
saying
my
that.
blank screen, I saw it. It was crawling on the wall right behind me. I leapt to my feet and turned, ready to defend myself.
from a ribcage.
There was nothing there. Once again, it was gone. I didn't sleep much that night. When I went to leave the next day, I saw the thing wandering up and down the hallway, like a bug searching for food.
I don't.
I stayed in my dorm for the rest of the day.
It said it had a
Even
head?
though it obviously wouldn't have trouble getting back into my dorm if it wanted to. So I'm emailing you to see if you can help me. How did you come up with this story? Is it based on something? Is there any truth to some of the other things you posted? Please, I would appreciate anything you might can tell me.
Wendell.
I took this email as a normal submission and considered publishing it along with a few others.
Okay.
I was surprised when I noticed he sent a second email the following morning. August 2nd. Please don't ignore this email. I am deadly serious. I can hear this damn thing
spooky.
scratching outside my door. I swear to God, it spent most of the day in the room above me scurrying around. I know it's taunting me. It's letting me know I'm its property. Sometimes I can hear it whispering. I have no idea
A
what
rib
it's saying.
cage. Okay.
It can't be good. I
Yeah.
can't imagine anything good coming from something like that. Please help me. This is not a joke or a submission.
Well,
I need your help.
see, this
Well,
guy.
At this point, I believe
That's how you should
this
act.
to be a part of the story, a part of the
Uh-oh.
submission. I admire the commitment to the story. That is, I did until the third email came later that afternoon.
Okay. Shit's going down.
August 2nd. I was eating lunch in the living room when this thing finally decided to attack me. It grabbed and held me down. The thing bared its
Yep.
rotten teeth, lunged from my side. It took a chunk out of my waist and swallowed it. It
Ooh.
was about to take a second bite, but I was able to grab my plate and jab it into its eye. The thing released me and scurried away on its ribcage legs. I can't live this
So
way.
it's using the ribs
I
to
can't
like
live knowing one day this
crawl,
thing is going
like
to
legs,
succeed
I guess.
in biting through.
Spider legs.
That's no way to live or die. I read one of your stories, and it said that you can offer it someone else to take your place. Is that true? If I found someone who might deserve it more than me, could I possibly get out of this?
Yeah, this is like
There was
smile and
something
it
about
follows.
this email that encouraged me to reply. August 3rd. Hey Wendell, I'm sure this is just part of your story, but I just have to make sure you know this is fake, right? Best. He replied almost immediately. August 3rd. This is not fake. It is very real. One
Okay.
of them is trying to get me, trying to kill me. I need to know what inspired
Yeah.
this. It might save me. I really didn't know how to answer that, so I just went with the truth. August 4th. I made it up.
I don't know.
I'm not really sure what inspired it. His reply came a few hours later. No. You're lying, you have to be. If you don't help me, I'm screwed. I hear it wandering around my apartment. My time is running out. Do you
Okay.
understand that? It's waiting for me to fall asleep. I know it. That's when it's going to get me. Kill me.
That's
I
fine.
couldn't help but be concerned.
So I don't know if I caught that. So everyone kind of knows this is a hoax, and they're just like giving them stories, but this guy, it like seems to actually be happening too. I think that's what the trajectory of this story is.
August 5th. Look, you sound like you need some help. Is there someone I can call for you? He didn't answer. I waited 2 days and I started to get a little worried, so I emailed him again.
Yeah.
Hey Wendell, you okay? Again, nothing. I started to think maybe I fell victim to a prank.
He's done.
Or I got caught up in someone else's story. But just as I was about to push Wendell out of my mind,
Wendell.
I received
what's going
another
on?
email.
What are
I'm
you
gonna
up to
try and
tonight?
save
Or
myself.
this morning? Whatever the fuck
I
time it
feel
is for
sorry
you.
for this woman, but better her than me. Wish me luck.
Ooh. Video?
I immediately alerted the
gonna cut out a
authorities.
ribcage?
To my knowledge, nothing has come of it.
Oh
They
yeah?
seem too
Anything
concerned
exciting?
that this was anything but a prank. I haven't heard from Wendell since, but I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I haven't been to
So
a
what do you
mall
think,
in forever.
guys?
I love the
Was
mall.
I the victim of a prank, or is this real?
Ooh. Okay, so it's basically like a lot of an ottoman, like a stool kind of thing for a recliner. Yeah, yeah. That was pretty good. I want to see where they're going with this. See what the comments have to say. I've never been so early to a Vintage 8 release. Literally shivers. It's a fun concept, simple, but a lot to expand on. I'm sure you have a loose cannon for what you want to be included. I like everyone trying their own thing while still trying to fit into it. A lot of people seem to like this one. I liked it, but like it didn't further like the lore of the Vintage 8 project, universe, whatever you want to call it. Okay. This person gets it. If this is canon to your greater expanded universe, are these incomplete people similar or related to the children under the house, which I haven't watched yet? Yeah, that's what I figure. Let's see. While I was watching, I got to thinking at first the main character of that story, the little girl, don't remember her name, was the one who could see the children at first. They took her voice and later tried to take her life. At the ending of that story, they took the two old people away. Oh, that's part of the other thing. Let's see what they replied. I think that's an interesting theory. I didn't intend for the similarities, and you aren't the first to make the connection, but you are the first to bring up the way the Clarks perish. Perhaps you're right. This is the way ghosts operate in this world. Okay, interesting. Let's see what else. There's a bunch of stuff that I missed on Vintage 8. Because I was following it real closely. And like one day I would like to do a big like explainer video, but this shit is gonna be so like convoluted. The last one I watched was Married to a Sleepwalker, and that one was really good, especially for a YouTube channel. It was its own like movie thing. I really enjoyed that. Super high production for a YouTube channel. I don't think I want to do Children Under the House tonight. but I know there are a few that I haven't seen. Don't let them in. Sure. I'll bite. It's 12 minutes, not that long. It's already 2 in the morning? Holy shit.
Mandy?
Okay. I think it's also really impressive that they do a wide variety of styles. Like, this stuff is clearly more expensive to do than some of the other stuff, like the thing that we just watched. But they do a lot of different and varied things.
Mandy, are you here? Mandy? Mandy?
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Why is my skin burning hearing that?
Hey!
Deliver us from evil. By the kingdom and
It's the library. So, I guess the question is, why are they in here? Who is Mandy? Why aren't people talking? That's a cool framing.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Anybody have a signal?
No, nothing.
So they can talk, right?
Tex doesn't
Well,
work either.
the prayer.
Do you know what
yeah.
happened?
No, I just heard the explosion and started running. Does anyone have a signal?
What about y'all? Anything?
No, I was on the phone with my dad and it just went dead.
I was talking with my boyfriend before it happened.
What happened?
He went outside to check on something. I just heard him screaming.
He done.
Call him back, but I couldn't get through.
He's
Must have
gone.
saw one of those things.
Things?
That explosion you heard? That was them coming from the ground.
What are you talking about?
Ooh.
Talking about what I saw.
Where?
North Campus. It was like a bomb went off. The ground just opened up.
Okay, so this has to do with the sinkhole, which was another arc that they did, and it was a sinkhole that was like growing and growing, and I believe the sinkhole is where the eye crashed, I'm pretty sure, which was the like the comet or entity, whatever you want to call it, that spread the Tangi virus. So I think that's what is going on here.
Swallowed everything.
Why would there be a bomb underground?
No. I said it was like a bomb,
It's the
but it was something else.
sinkhole.
Means something else. What did you see?
I don't know. But they weren't human.
Bullshit.
That was a... What the fuck? That was a weird voice.
Excuse me, sir. But what the hell do you know about what I saw?
I'm not saying you didn't see something. I'm just saying you didn't.
Is that Boogie 2988? No, it looks it looks pretty goddamn similar. Come on. It's not.
See monsters. Jesus, everyone's scared enough already. We don't need that kind of ridiculous nonsense making it worse.
Yeah? Well, you can kindly piss off.
You know, you don't look
This
so
guy looks
good.
a lot like him.
Maybe you should go and lay down.
It's not as bad as it looks. Thank you.
So what do you think's going on?
Climate change. The news has been saying something like this is gonna happen.
No, I know what's going on. It's obvious. We were attacked. Terrorists.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Some hostile caught those libtards in Washington with their goddamn pants down.
Come on, man. Come on. Audio. Yeah.
And now we're all gonna get screwed.
Oh my god, you're probably right. I saw a flash of light in the sky before the explosion. It must have been a missile.
You're right. Where?
I wonder if this is when it landed. No, it couldn't be because they have cell phones. And it landed in like pre-1980, I think.
War.
If that's the case, I don't want to stay here. I want to get out there. I want to fight.
And do what? Die like everyone else?
Better to die on my feet than on my ass.
I didn't see a missile.
Is it
Yeah,
though?
you didn't see monsters either.
And what makes you think that I'm lying, huh?
That's a nasty bruise you have on your head. He probably thinks we're all monsters.
Maybe the missile was carrying something. A weapon of some kind?
Yeah. I read about stuff like that online. We don't know half the things they got out there.
Oh, I said I didn't see a missile.
Yeah, and you don't know what you saw.
Look, I need to get back to my friend.
Shut up, dollar
I don't know
store
where she
boogie.
is, and the last time I talked to her, I don't even know what was happening. She won't even answer her phone.
Sorry about your friend. But as long as we're in here, we're safe. All of you need to get real comfortable because we're as good as stuck.
Stuck? I can't stay here. My mom is sick, and she needs me.
Yeah, and I feel far more comfortable weathering this attack from my own home.
Yeah, I need to get home to my kids.
Likewise, I have people I need to check on.
There is a good chance that if
Guy,
we're not in this
God
room,
damn it.
they're as good as dead or one of those things.
Yeah, the hell with you, man. You're not God. You don't know shit.
Like I
He
said,
might be.
you don't know what I saw.
There's no food in here, no water.
The pets' heads are falling off.
We stay in here too long, and all anyone's gonna find.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Always have been my whole life.
Are our dead bodies.
Wait, I have some food.
How convenient.
It's movie night. I went to the store for a few snacks.
I'm so thirsty.
Don't take the water. The water is how the virus spreads. They bottled the water.
Wait. We don't know how long these 4
Yeah.
bottles of water have to last. Share.
Yeah?
No, the bottles of water are like a really fucking important part of all of this.
Why are you in charge?
Because I am. And if I have to take it, I can.
There's a dozen people in here.
It's better than nothing.
Ooh, that guy had crazy eyes.
Hey. Sip. We don't know how long this has to last.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, she did it. She's fucked. Yep. There is definitely a reason that they cut to every person doing that. What an interesting way to convey the passage of time. I actually really like that. Yeah. Yeah, what is a sip?
Bioweapon terrorists.
I remember when I was in elementary school, we'd go out and like play in recess, and then we'd come back in, and there'd be a line to the water fountain, and they like they would go 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Like being so fucking thirsty. I don't know if anyone's school ever did that, but it was fucking annoying. I haven't thought of that in like 30 years.
Terrorists? You sure? Like that? I mean, that sounds kind of crazy, but
Maybe a couple of days. There's a lot of us here.
Gee. I hope it lasts a little longer than that.
Oh shit. Oh shit. What's happening? You got.
Are you
You got. You're done.
Can't breathe. Lay down. I think she's having an allergic reaction. Someone find an EpiPen. Find it. We're looking.
Peanuts. What? Peanuts.
Oh no, I ate a peanut butter sandwich this morning.
And they're gone.
Hurry!
We are, damn it!
Not here. Not here.
Wait, what? Why did she say peanut?
Sandwich this morning. Find it.
Hold on.
We're looking.
Peanuts. What? Peanuts.
Oh no, I ate a peanut butter sandwich this morning.
Oh, was it like they took a drink out of all of the bottles and her like backwash had peanut particles in it? Right? I thought they each like well, no, I'm dumb. I thought they each individually had a bottle, but they only showed like 2 or 3 of them.
Hurry!
We are, damn it!
It could be a misdirect though.
Not here. Not here.
We'll see. Racetrack. Oh, you're dead.
Is she? Yeah. I didn't know no one in my family's allergic.
You couldn't have known.
It doesn't make it any better.
All right, look. If we are going to survive, then we have to be smarter from here on out. Let's put her body in the corner. That way nobody trips on her.
We're not gonna say anything?
It's sad that that is more than Amazon does to people that die on the warehouse floor. Where there have been like reports where people have literally just died and they left them there, and you can see people like walking over the corpse. It's super fucked up.
Say what?
I think it was in Tennessee that happened.
Anything? It'd be better than throwing her in the corner like a piece of garbage.
So you want her to be a tripping hazard?
Compose.
Be thankful that it isn't
Yeah.
you.
You're an asshole. None of this would have happened if
He just wants to move her into the corner so people won't trip on her. How does that make him an asshole?
you would have just let us open the damn door.
Look, I am sad that this woman is dead, but if you open that door, we are all dead. Why can't you people understand that?
Because you're out of your goddamn mind.
Look.
Shut up, dollar store
Once they
boogie.
get you, they eat you from the inside out. They become you. It is how they spread. Understand?
Oh my god. I can't believe we've been in here for this long. You know what? No, no. I am leaving. Who's with me? Yeah,
Oh.
the boxes.
I didn't want to have to do this, but get away from
Where did the gun come from? What the fuck? He just pulled that out of nowhere.
door.
I knew you were crazy.
Trust me, I'm the only sane person here.
In a few hours, these are going to be dead. Then what?
Then nothing. We stay put.
What about when the food's gone?
I told you we stay put. Now, get away from the door.
Hello? Is someone in there?
Mandy,
Uh-oh.
is that you?
Don't let him in.
God, you're alive. Please, let me in.
Don't do it.
I will do what you want. Just let her in.
I can't do that. How do I know that she is who she says she is?
He's
Who else
right.
would she be?
I told you they can imitate us.
He's right.
Christy, what's taking so long?
So they don't like imitate you. I think what's happened is that the mosquitoes got around, maybe, and they just take over their body. So it's not like these are big monsters that can shapeshift. It's a little bit more nuanced than that.
Please let me in.
Get away from the door.
Please!
Get away from the goddamn door now!
For this bullshit.
You killed them.
No. I'm trying to save you.
Good job. Good job, man.
This is on you.
Save her too.
I can't trust you.
Yeah.
Let go!
It's gonna get shot. They're like, nah, man. Oh, I thought he got shot.
You're bleeding.
It's not mine.
You're making a mistake.
Oh my god. Christy? I heard shots. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Don't do
Hold
it.
on, we're gonna let you in.
No, you're fucked.
Don't be stupid. You're gonna let them in. Stop. Don't let them in.
Ooh, I could smash a quesadilla right now. I didn't have dinner today. She's infected.
Relax. Relax.
The red eyes.
We're already inside.
Okay. Vader did it better. Alright. Little snippet of the universe. Any post-credit scene? I don't know. Oh yeah, it was good. Especially for a YouTube channel. Oh, the ending was her just turning. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not doing the children one tonight. The Cypress Beauty one was interesting. Here's Mary. Okay, I'll buy it. Sexual assault scene. Can you on YouTube? I don't know. I'm not monetized on YouTube. Do they still put ads in there? Or if you have like ad blocker? I think Ball of Flames is on a phone, though. I don't know how you would get an ad blocker on a phone. When I go to bed and lay down, like I put on YouTube stuff, but there are always ads on there. If you can do it, let me know. The Brave browser? Okay. I've never heard of those. Okay. That would be very helpful. No, I'm on iPhone. Oh, okay. All right, I'll check it out later for sure. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Oh God, why are you doing this to me?
Yep. She did not have a great time. Uh-oh. Lewd.
The fuck are you still doing here?
Jesus. I'm gonna get banned for watching this. Okay. This is 3 years later. Frosted Flakes are pretty good. Yeah. One megapixel. Uh-oh. Yep, gingivitis. See, she better hope it's that. South Park. I haven't seen that one in a while. Gingivitis. Yeah. She killing douchebag boys? Is this like an Eileen Warnos thing? Y'all know who I'm talking about? That fucking crazy lady that got assaulted and then started killing men? Like, tons of them? Yeah, it's pretty good. I like, since I've followed this channel before it had like even 2,000 subscribers, it's nice to see the progression of like how they're getting better as the years go by.
So, what happened to you last night? You didn't have to leave so early.
I know. I had something I had to do. I'm sorry.
Come with me to Gary's party tonight. We can, pick up where we left off?
I can't. I'm already going with someone else.
Okay. I know things got out of hand. We can slow down.
It's not that.
There's always Friday night.
Maybe, but I doubt it. Tom and I will probably be doing something.
Huh. Did I do something wrong?
Uh-oh.
No, you did everything right.
Then why are you blowing me off?
Maybe I'm not looking for a good guy.
Why is everyone bumping into her? Is she single? I think she's killing her bad guy boyfriends, is what it seemed. Alright. I dig it. Yeah. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a bottle of vodka right now. I remember going to parties like that. Ooh. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a saxophone. I like it.
I just want you to sign my yearbook. Throne room, straight ahead.
He's gonna murder the guy. It's like super jealous incel.
Stop it! Get off me!
Uh-oh. The fucking punch sound effect.
What does it matter?
Get out of here, Michael!
Jesus, what are you even doing with this guy?
God damn it, Michael.
First person he's tried this with?
I said leave!
Classic. There better be a Wilhelm scream at some point. I'll be disappointed if not. Yeah. Better yet, just actually punch him. Method acting.
I can't believe you would do this to me.
How do you know this isn't your fault? Normally, the guy that saves the girl gets the girl.
I'm not yours to save.
I would do anything for you.
It's fucking simp.
I know.
You're gonna, yeah. Very pervy. Don't they have like a name for girls that go and do this? It's like a Black Widow or something. Isn't there like a name for it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, damn. Alright. So she's trying to get pregnant? Or something? Ooh, look at that CRT.
What do you want, Michael?
I need to talk to you. I can't help but to feel like there's something.
Maybe she's like infected and wants to, I don't know, spawn a new person, for lack of a better word.
Something wrong with me.
What are you talking about?
God damn it, Michael.
Dating. It's like you're looking for these assholes. Don't you want something better?
Michael, don't act like
It's so cringy.
I don't know. Isn't this what you like?
Get out! I have someplace to be.
Obviously.
Michael, no!
Isn't this what you want?
No!
Kill him.
What the fuck are you still doing here?
I would never hurt you.
What's with the like patched up wound?
Why are you doing this to me?
Because someone did it to me.
Michael, I don't want to hurt you! Michael, I have AIDS.
Oh. Well, there it is. Does this... I don't know if this has anything to do with the Tangivirus. But but he's clearly bad. He nearly raped her. Why would she not do it to him? She knows what he's capable of now. Some kind of I don't even know, like Stockholm syndrome or something. I mean, it can't be that. It's weird. It ended weird. Yeah, she didn't want to give him the virus, but then, you know, he did all of that. So maybe give him a little bit of it? Alright. Oh, wait, I wanted to see if people were commenting if this is actually part of the overarching story. Let's see, the part scary, it happened. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Wow, not like your usual work. Glad to hear, love it, never saw it coming. I don't think I'm on board with that ending. But whatever. Let's see. The Itch. The Itch, that's the trypophobia one. Did I watch The Human Trial? Like, it says I didn't, but I feel like I did. Small change of heart, children. We did It Lives in the Static. Okay, that's not showing that I watched that either, but I definitely did. It's on my YouTube channel. I don't know. I don't really have a different account. It doesn't matter. Sinkholes. Here, let's watch this. Sleepless. I want to get more into like the mythology of this world. These little snippets are fine, but oh yeah, loud snore. The dog is sad.
Election calendar 2019 is supposed to be a big election year, but you wouldn't really know it with the political temperature we see. The governor's race so far is lackluster. There's not a sheriff. As a freshman on the council, looking for his second term this fall. Also, you're on the drainage board. You're former fire chief on the fire board.
What does the dog want? Oh. Good dog.
Penelope!
Penelope? Really? Can you just call her Penny? She's gonna get got by the mosquitoes, I bet.
Penelope, what's wrong? There's nothing out there.
You know what would have been really cool? I doubt he had this, like... I don't know when he thought of the incomplete people, but it would be neat if he did think of it a long time ago and put, like, off in the corner some, I don't know, like eyes or a torso or whatever, just, like, very obscured to kind of set little crumb trails. That would have been neat.
Silly dog.
Penelope. All right, suit yourself.
Uh-oh. Penelope, you had one job. You bark when weird people come into your house.
Aaron?
Yeah. Okay. That was not on my bingo card.
You don't want to wake him up.
They comfort those who can't sleep.
Uh-oh. We literally just said that I had insomnia. It's probably not good.
Crystal!
Oh, okay. She got taken by the masked people because she couldn't sleep. What kind of playlist does he have? The Ghosts of Kate's Crossing. Okay. Sacrilege. I'm not watching that tonight. That's way too much. So all of this is definitely... Take a look at the supernatural side of Kate's Crossing. Kate's Crossing appears in like everything. That's like the main focal town, I guess. So these are all definitely related. Damn. Oh, they did the full It Lives in the Static. That's cool. Have you heard of the Inverted Man? I have not.
Have you ever heard of the Inverted Man? If not, then allow me to tell you everything I can.
Whoa, wait.
Have you ever heard of the Inverted Man? If not,
What is this? I see you? Okay.
then allow me to tell you everything I can.
Where... What is that? W-H...
He flies above us unassisted. His bones are broken, his neck is twisted. He's always pointed toward the ground. In fact, everything about him is upside down.
Where?
Scars and bruises cover his face. His every feature seems displaced. The creature's smile is black and broken. From his mouth, a word is never spoken. He has no eyes that you can see, but he can find you. I'm sure
Don't
you
like
would
spiders.
agree. Best be inside when that moment is here, because it'll be your last, just to be clear.
It's like, what's the thing, like the Bloody Mary thing when you're a little kid? Go into the bathroom, turn the lights off, and say Bloody Mary 3 times, that kind of thing.
I pray that you never see the Inverted Man, 'cause I've told you everything I can.
You belong to me, sure, if you want to be free. Oh, we have like a Samara ring thing going on. We have to like spread it to a lot of other people.
Are you ready for...
I don't want to go into like another incredibly long one. I need more analog horror to watch that are like good. So much shit out there is derivative from the Mandela catalog. It's like made me retroactively hate the Mandela catalog. And like, I don't want to shit on people whenever they put something out. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I want to like encourage people. Like, yeah, it may not have been that good, but keep going. But goddamn, there's so many copycats of Mandela catalog. It's like, like analog horror shovelware. What is this? Nobody. These are pretty quick. How to talk to nobody. Okay. Set the camera in front of an empty chair. Alright. Is this like a euphemism for a streamer's career? Like a small streamer's career? You may ask nobody 3 questions. Place the tape inside an envelope. Address it to nobody. Place the envelope into a mailbox. It should not be yours. If it returns to you in 3 days, nobody has replied. Play the tape. Okay. Ooh, getting a little bit of a incomplete people vibe from that. Nobody will be sitting in the empty chair answering your questions. Please be warned. Nobody will ask for something of yours in trade. This is like that movie Talk to Me. If you haven't seen it, pretty damn good movie. Give what's owed or else. And that concludes the game. How to Talk to Nobody Part 2. Little Gamer Revenge. Find a VHS camera. Yep, we did that. Tripod it up. We didn't have a tripod last time. Offer nobody a secret. Secret can be something that only you know or a few people know. The darker the secret, the more likely you will get nobody's attention. Sacrifice something you love in front of the camera. Place the tape. Address it to nobody. Okay, same thing. Bury it. If nobody replies within 3 days, everyone tied to the secret will suffer until it is no longer a secret. Or everyone is dead. I mean, sure. Okay. I'm pretty sure that probably has some sort of deep significance. Oh yeah. Really interesting. Maybe they know that I'm watching something like this. I don't know how like dynamic the ads are versus like what you're doing on stream. You to wake up. You broke the rules. How do you break the rules? Man, they got some wicked chromatic aberration going on. Maybe dial that back down a little bit. What was that? The fuck is that? It's incredibly high fidelity. Okay, a little creepy. Nobody's coming. This one's a bit longer. Hopefully we're about to find out. What did that say? I gotta keep on my toes. Nobody is coming. Okay. Mr. Nosy Bonk. This reminds me of that, it was true, I'm pretty sure, like of these people like licking other people's eyeballs and shit when they were asleep. It's weird. I think Nick Crowley did a video over that. I was Jack. Don't hurt the dog. Oh, are we in the viewpoint of the nobody? Is that what this is? Nobody, yeah. Stab him! It's like Roberto on Futurama. You gotta practice your stabbing. When was this made? 2 years ago? Yeah, they've got to ease up on the artifacting here, I think. I get what they're going for, but maybe rein it in a tad bit. shit. Shit's about to go down. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think it's like actually supposed to be the camera though. I think it's literally just supposed to be the point of view of the nobody. It's not like some kind of floating camera. I don't think anyway. I don't know. It's like she clearly senses something, it seems. Like she definitely senses a